man!
That's why I should be in the competition most years, and this year especially.
All right, it's a conversation you've been waiting for. We're talking Mahomes versus Rodgers. Rodgers owns the MVP and All-Pro selection accolades, advantaged by just one in each category. But really the bigger difference here and something to pay close attention to is Rodgers is in his 16th season, Mahomes in just his 4th season. NFL reporter Kimberly Martin now here with us. Dominique, I want to start with you here. Has Mahomes in just his 4 seasons shown enough to surpass Rodgers in the all-time GOAT list?
I think so. I know how ridiculous it sounds because he's only been a starter for 2 years. Like, I know what you guys are going to pull out, all these longevity stats, and I know it makes you turn your nose up. I know it stink a little bit, but I believe it. I believe it because we saw the rundown. We saw the rundown of the stat comparison. We saw it. That's how we measure greatness. And we measure it by Super Bowls, All Pros, Pro Bowls. We measure it by those sorts of things. And I understand that Patrick Mahomes falls short in MVPs. I forgot to throw that in there. Patrick Mahomes falls short in some of those areas, or actually only in the MVP area, because he hasn't played nearly as long. But what Patrick Mahomes has done for this league, or done to this league, and I remember when Aaron Rodgers, he got a late start also. He had to sit behind Brett Favre. I remember when he came in and we were like, damn, that boy is good. But there is something different about what Patrick Mahomes has done in this short period of time. And I do think we can blame it on a lot of different people, but I do think the fact that Aaron Rodgers only has one Super Bowl, it's going to hurt him because he may get one this year. Maybe he has another shot next year. It's going to be really hard, but we'll see. I think this season, if they play each other in the Super Bowl, which Lord willing, that we get that, I think that'll be fantastic. And you know, in the fourth quarter, it's going to come down to one of those guys, and we have never seen Patrick Mahomes not step up in those moments. The playoffs is when the legend is born of these players. That's when we decide who's greatest. And it reminds me of a little known, but my favorite scene in the Malcolm X movie. Malcolm X, it's Denzel Washington playing a character. He's sitting at a table in the restaurant having ice cream with Sister Betty. Then Raj from What's Happening walks in, and he says, hey, Brother Malcolm, I think Brother Johnson got attacked. And you know what? Malcolm looks at him. He says, I'm sorry, Sister Betty. He get up and he go to work. That's how Patrick Mahomes is in the fourth quarter when they are down in the playoffs. He said he look at Sister Betty and he know how much he love her. They going to fall in love and have a bunch of children. But it's time to go to work. He get up, he got a job to do. He stand up and he walk out. Aaron Rodgers has some of those moments.
What is this?
Oh, you know what it is. I got something to tell you later, too. But anyway, go ahead, Kimberly.
No, I want to hear what Ryan
Welcome to the show,
to say.
Kimberly. Get ready.
Okay, Ryan.
Yeah, listen, I absolutely disagree with what Dom is saying. And I'm a huge Patrick Mahomes fan. Like when I see Patrick Mahomes and you see him do some of those things, what do we always say, though? We haven't seen any quarterbacks do these things except Aaron Rodgers, or there hasn't been a quarterback come into the league and take over the way he has physically since Aaron Rodgers, or he makes some throws that only Aaron Rodgers can make. Like, that's a reason that you make that comparison. There's the reason that these are the same guys that are talked about in the same ways, because we've seen things from them from an arm talent standpoint that we haven't seen from other people. We watched them make throws that we haven't watched other people make. And also the success to add to that, right? Aaron Rodgers winning a Super Bowl early on in his tenure as a starter, coming back the next year and winning the MVP. So you see all those things, and Patrick Mahomes is very similar. But when Jay dropped the song, remember Every Day a Star is Born? And Jay's basically running through, he's like, DMX dropped and Eminem dropped. And he's kind of talking about all of these people, and all these people had these fast starts and they dropped these hot albums. And he was basically saying, like, I'm trying to give y'all the torch, but y'all don't want to take it. And at the time, Weezy was going hard. He's like, I see what Wayne do with it. And so that's where we at. That's where we are now with Patrick Mahomes. From an eye test standpoint, Aaron Rodgers is the best I've ever seen. He's the best I've ever seen. Tom Brady's still the GOAT because of all his accomplishment. Aaron Rodgers is still playing. Obviously, Tom Brady is too. Patrick Mahomes can do less from a team accolade perspective and still end up being the greatest of all time because of how good he is. But right now, today, Aaron Rodgers is on a higher plane, is on a higher level when we start to list off the greatest quarterbacks of all time, because some of those accolades that take time to gain and attain have to be done with experience, have to be done with years, and Patrick Mahomes just hasn't done enough.
I'm gonna be quick. Excuse me, Sister Kimberly. I just wanted to let you know that I want to welcome you to First Take on UPN. But I do want to also tell you why Ryan Clark, where he made a mistake. He started talking about arm talent, and I'm gonna bring his own created stat that will become something that all coaches and general managers use. Arm arrogance. You know Aaron Rodgers don't got it. He don't have it. He protects the ball at all costs. Patrick Mahomes, the difference between Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, which I agree with you. Aaron Rodgers has incredible throws, and we are absolutely splitting hairs at this point. Like, you can't go wrong with these options. It's kind of absurd to argue. But your own stat, the stat that should be named after Patrick Mahomes, arm arrogance, that man is a 10, a 99, a 1,000, and Aaron Rodgers is not. That is the difference in their greatness in my mind. And Aaron Rodgers has had failures, and Patrick Mahomes will at some point, but I haven't seen him have it yet. I'm sorry. I can let you go now.
Dominique, that all that was cute and all, but excuse me. This question actually upset me a little bit. This question actually upset me because I felt it was so disrespectful. Like, to the this man, Aaron Rodgers,